gonna go ahead and have to into my bones. So I'm eating. I want to record this so badly because, yeah. Right now, I'm kind of in love with Chicago, but I don't know. I met this guy today. He gave me $20 fucking. And I'm like, oh my god, why? But I can tell he was kind of like, I don't know, resin on me and shit. But I wasn't ready for it. Because I'm like, the fuck? I'm not used to it. I need to calm down because I feel like it's like euphoria. It's making me like really feel really girly and shit. And like womanly. But I need to know my place, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel bad even for like saying that because it's like, I do come from like Texas where like, I ain't gonna lie, like it was bad. Like, I can't even lie. Like being in these other states that are trans, like, positive states, it's like everything has changed. I'm sorry I'm whispering so much, but it's just like I have to right now because I'm still homeless and I'm sleeping in an area I probably shouldn't be sleeping in. But I'm like in a really good part of town. It's a little awkward because I'm in Chicago and like I'm like basically 3 stories up on like a fucking stairwell and shit behind like a LA Fitness. But like there's like buildings that are way taller than me, so they're like literally just like I can see all their lights and shit and people's windows and TVs and shit, so it's kinda like awkward. I think Christopher, what's his face? I can't remember that. Like shot the Dark Knight trilogy here. But like I can see why it's really cool. Anyways. Here's the same thing. I always used to dream about this. Maybe this is what I was dreaming about when I was a kid. I'm not getting too much time. I'm gonna sidetrack, but I just wanted to talk about like the feeling of being trans right now. Like how I see myself as a trans woman. It's so hard to describe that feeling right now because I've gone through so much. As a trans woman, I've gone through so much in my transition that like I wanted to cry today, right? And I didn't know exactly why I wanted to cry. Now, I did take my hormones like 2 hours earlier. You know what I mean? I took my hormones the other day like 2 hours earlier, so now I'm like I guess, I don't even know, like I'm in a different, I don't know. I took it earlier, right? Which is compacting more estrogen into my body before it actually leaves my body. So like, yeah, maybe my estrogen levels spiked up and it kind of made me more emotional. But because I have dealt with so much atrocities, see, the thing about me is I'm an INFP, kind of like Bob Marley, so I'm very sensitive when it comes to like truth, rights, and justice. And so I don't like, people that fight against humanity or humanitarian causes. And so I'm very like, I don't know, like, even when I was like younger and I thought I was straight, regular straight guy, I was so against people that were like fighting the gay people, like people that hated gay people. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't be homophobic like that, I couldn't. And it's so awkward because it's like there's so much is going on right now. Sorry, I'm just thinking. It's just like was a guy, I don't know how to feel right now because, like, I feel like I've been on hormones for like a year and a half, right? But it's not real hormones. It's not real hormones. I've been on herbal estrogen. I've been taking herbs. And I don't know how to feel about that because of so many different factors, so many different things. There's just so much going on. Like, somebody just gave me some weed. This guy was just asking me if I was okay. Are you right? Good, good. But people just are all around me, all over me. Like, they see me, they're like, their cars, they stop their cars. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I don't know if I'm just, that bitch. That shit. I don't know if I'm like, because my mind doesn't see it. I still see a guy. I don't see a woman at all. I don't see a trans woman. I just see a fat guy. Now, maybe I'm mentally scarred. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe these guys are gay. Maybe they're not gay. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm eating tough bread right now with sesame seeds. So anyways, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. If this is how German bread tastes like, I would probably eat this shit. This is pretty good. This is pretty good bread. Like, it tastes good. It is hard as shit though. Jesus. Anyways, I'm trying to find the words or the emotions, but I can't. Like, there's just so much going on emotionally. Like, I feel so, it's just weird. Like, I'm in Chicago, I'm not a kid anymore. Like, my dad's dead. I'm in Chicago. I'm transgender now. It's just weird. It's like, what the fuck? Like, my mind is just like, what the hell? I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm trying, and it's just really crazy. It's just a lot to process, I guess. Spiritually, I'm at a certain point too, but sorry. Let me get right on track. So my thing is, I don't know how to see myself because I feel like my process of getting more into like the queer community, all the way from flamboyant gay man or whatever to full blown trans women, right? Being exposed to these type of people, right? Or trans women with beards, or all types of shit. Drag queens with beards, drag queens that do this type, all types of things, right? So because of the fact that I've been like dealing with so much and looking at so many different like aspects of being queer or whatever, right? And being exposed to it, it kind of led me to our transition. But how do I put this? I guess the best way to put it comes to mind is just think of Xena, the warrior princess. Like, I just feel like her. I saw a clip today on TikTok where it was like, I think she was supposed to like grab a sword and like kill Zeus. Is it Zeus? I think, yeah. She's supposed to kill Zeus or something, and like Hercules was like, "Oh, I got it. He's my father. I'll kill him." I think something like that. I can't remember. So anyway, because it didn't show it. Right? The clip was just talking. It had Hercules and Xena, and they were talking. And she was trying to like distract him to take the sword so she can go, because whoever uses the sword, I think, he like dies. And so like she tried to grab the sword from him, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she was like, "It should be me." And he's like, "Why?" Because we all know the backstory of Xena, right? She's like, she was evil, she was like radiant and like just killing people, and she was like a psychopath. And the whole show is her like making amends. Sorry, it's really loud out here. It's like 10 o'clock in the night, And there's a lot of people out here right now because of the fact that it's like Friday, I guess, in Chicago, and people are just out and about. And it's not like Texas, like, like we have homes, like actual regular 1-story houses. Like over here, it's like they have like, I'm literally right across the street from like a 6-story building right now. Like, it's just crazy. 2 6-story buildings. And these kids are like playing soccer in like the high rise, right? Sorry, not the high rise, the parking lot, the parking garage that's attached to this LA Fitness, and I'm like behind. It's crazy. It's just like, what the heck? And then it's right next to the airport, so planes are just flying over. And it's a full moon tonight. Anyways, a lot going on. It's really crazy. So yeah. So back to the Zena story. So I think something about, I forgot what he said to her, but he's basically, people try to tell her like, you're a hero, like you need to chill out, you're a good person, like, But that's how I feel like being trans. I still kind of have like guilt about being trans. Somebody's coming. Sounds like a kid's on a skateboard. Jeez Louise. So I still have guilt about being trans, but not like oh my God, I'm such a, but like what I've been through and how people perceive me and the fight. Even right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm on like the white side of like Chicago. I have not seen that many black people here at all. It's mostly just me. I haven't seen that black person today at all. And I literally went to like the state park or the city park, Chicago Park, and it was like they had like 2 big old parties. Like I think it was like a white family and I don't even know what race they were, but they're playing like I think like tribal music. It sounded really cool. They look brown of some sort, But yeah, like it was crazy. Like everybody was at the park today. Like it was a full. Full house. And it's just like, I didn't see not one black person. I was the only one on the grass chilling. But, yeah, so, anyways, I just be like, having like a lot of like, I don't know what to call it. It's not like I'm guilty. I'm so used to just being a survivor. And, like, not thinking that, like, in Texas, it's so crazy. Like, I'm just like, in Texas, they really, really do a number on you to make you feel like shit as a trans person. Like, it's crazy. I talked about it yesterday to myself, and I should have probably recorded it, but whatever, right? Here we are. So, like, I was literally supposed to, like, so, like, yesterday I was saying to myself, like, when you're trans in Texas, it's literally like they make you feel like you're crazy. And here's the weirdest thing about it. It's usually the craziest people. Like in the South, right, you have a lot of conservative men that are attracted to trans women, and they just do the most. It's like, and I say the most, I mean they literally like will jump out of their car, run up to the door, and like try to hold the door for you. They try to give you that Southern hospitality that they think that a man's supposed to be for a woman, but it's like. But then you have people that are on the other side of it. They're like, "Oh, you're just a man," you know what I mean? And so they like treat you like crap. You know what I mean? They treat you like crap, but they make you feel like you're crazy, and it's like weird because you're like, okay, whatever, like, and then they almost like force you to say you're a man, but you can't even say you're a man. They don't even want you to say that. They just want to shit all over you. They make you feel like you're crazy. And here's the weirdest thing. They're the craziest people. The people that do that to you are literally crazy. Like, you can literally see the way they talk, everything. Like, oh, this person has a mental disorder, a Down syndrome. Something is wrong with them. And they're over here hating on me because I'm trans. It's crazy. But that's what you go through in Texas. But, like, just leaving Texas and going to these other states like Colorado and going to now Chicago, it's where it's not such a bad thing. It's like, it's crazy. But like, honestly, sorry. But the thing about it is, what I've noticed is when you're like in Texas, right? and you're like a part of the black community, they don't really hate you when you're trans or queer. They don't care. They just do not care like that. They're not like, oh, you fucking fat. They're not going in. It's like everybody else that goes in, like all the other races that go in, right? But like, when I've been in like Chicago here now, yes, like Chicago, especially Chicago, I'm not gonna lie, like the black community is very homophobic. And it's just weird. It's like when you go to Texas, they're not homophobic. They're not homophobic. I would go on the bus and nobody would be like, oh, this fucking guy. They wouldn't go that hard. But it's all the places that are like liberal, you know, that like black people are like super conservative. It's really weird, right? But I'm from Houston, and Houston's pretty liberal as a city itself, so, you know. What else? I was about to say. But yeah, like, so I'm gonna round this up right now. So basically, all I'm trying to say here is that, like, it's really awkward for me because, like, for me, you know, when I think of myself as trans, I can't be a man again. Does that make sense? Like, your brain almost changes, I feel like, when you're, like, on estrogen for so long, you know? When you're going through transition and you're transitioning, it's like your brain, like, literally, like, I don't know, I kind of snapped, you know? And, like, this is when I was in Colorado. I just can't fight anymore, guys. I can't fight. Like, I don't want to fight anymore. Like, I just, like, that feeling of, like, you know, when you're a guy and you're like, I don't give a damn who, like, gets in my face. I'm going to mess him up, right? That feeling is gone now. I don't want it. I just feel like it's not worth it. And maybe it's because I've been tired of fighting all these transphobes, you know? But, yeah. I just don't want it. I'm tired. I'm literally tired. I don't need that in my life. I don't need any negativity. I don't need to be rage baited to be like fighting somebody. You know? I don't need any of that shit. And that's why I'm so angry. Like, not angry, but I'm so like, I'm just tired, you know? Because as soon as I hear somebody talk about like, oh, you trans women, or when I'm on social media and I go through clips, right? I'm on TikTok, I'm scrolling, you know. If I hear somebody talk about something negative about trans people, I want to fight them. Even now, I still want to fight them. But I like now just scroll past it because I just can't. It's a waste of my energy, you know? Because a lot of people don't want to actually fight. They won't ever actually fight you. And so, that's sad. When I get so like, when somebody like, oh, you're trans in me, you know? I get so like fight or flight mode, and I want to fight. I don't want to run, I want to fight. But I'm just tired, guys. Can't do it anymore. You know? So it brings me to the point where I'm saying now, for me, during my transition now, I just feel like I don't know what it is to be like a man anymore. Because I don't know how to put this, but like, when I thought about me being with a man as a trans woman, I literally thought I'd have to like get facial feminization surgery, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm African, so I don't really think I have to do that much when it comes to like my butt and my breasts and just my curves, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm African in my features. You know, I thought that like most men would not like me because I'm tall. But, oh my God, Like, I thought that like I had to get electrolysis. I thought I had to even get like I don't know what to call it, but like, and my eyes, I'd have to like get some surgery to get my eyes to be bigger. I thought I'd have to do all this stuff, voice, therapy, voice surgery, something. Oh my God, like just taking a little bit of herbs, like it's weird, It's like, okay, you're a guy, right? And then like you're like, man, you discovered about trans people, right? Oh my God. Then you start getting more into the queer community, and then you're like, oh my God, like there's bearded drag queens, right? You would not think a straight heterosexual man would be into that, or basically a straight acting or masculine man, right? You wouldn't think that, you wouldn't think a masculine man would be into you. But yes, like my beard just recently, I shaved. Like literally, I had men literally like wanting to be with me, and it's crazy because I'm like, what? Like, I have a beard, a whole beard, and they still want to be with me. They still see me as like a trans woman with a beard. And it's like what? But when I was a man, right, and I was like straight, presenting or whatever, for the world, and for me also, but when I was in that mode, I didn't think like I started to explain, right? Like I wouldn't have ever dated a trans woman with a beard. I'd have been like, ugh, like all these things. I would never thought all these things, and it's like it's crazy because like in my transition, I'm thinking like I'm gonna have to do all this and do that, but it's like I've kind of just like let all that go, and I just end up just being myself. Like I'm pulling so much from so many different men, and it's like it's crazy because I'm just like I didn't think that you guys would be into me, but then every time I saw somebody new in the queer or slash trans community that has like expressed themselves in sorry, I can't talk right now in a unique way, like that almost sometimes turn me on. I'm like, oh my God, like wow, I remember there was this crossdresser, I can't remember her name, and she was talking about cross-dressing and being trans, or slash trans, whatever, and she had a deep voice, but it wasn't like a deep voice. It's a guy's voice, right? But like, I remember like, thinking, so she looks so hot, and she wasn't super super hot. It's just, I've even seen her when she's like in guy mode. She has long hair, so it doesn't really matter. But you're like, you're still hot. Like you're still like feminine-ish. Like you're still. I don't know, like, it was like when she, like, put on the makeup and the wig, and then, like, she would talk. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like, she's a guy, and, like, drag, basically, or cross-dress. But it was like, oh, my God, like, I still love the fact that it's just, like, one of my time, my first times, like, let's about, like, getting into the cross-dressing community and, like, seeing how they are. And it was just like she had a deep voice, and I was there for it. And so I have to tell myself, there are men that are mad, but it's like, how do you? But for me, that helped me get comfortable having a fucking like deep voice or having a guy's voice. Like that helped me be comfortable with myself. And other trans women that might have deep voices or whatever, right? Cross-dressers or whatever the fuck, right? But like when it comes to guys that are attracted to trans women, I'm starting to realize it's kind of like it's like the thing about it is it's like, okay, those guys, just like me discovering these people, they're like, oh my God. But like for me, it helped me be comfortable. For me, it helped me in my transition You get what I'm saying? And help me get amalgamated to like, you know, queer spaces. But literally, I forget, like, there's guys, there's people, there are males that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you get to a certain point, right? It's almost like, imagine there, like, if I never transitioned, right? But I, like, a separate person, a separate version of me never transitioned. And I'm basically, that separate version of me is basically some regular guy, right? It's like, so, like, for me, this inspires me to transition. But, like, that other version, right, which is basically me trying to, like, relate or see where guys are coming from, it's weird, you know? It's like, if I was still a guy, which, you know, would I see myself as a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was still a guy and I saw the future me, you know, just trans, like, would I be like, oh my God, it's transgender woman, it's beautiful? Or, like, or would I be like, what the hell? It's not a transgender woman, this is me, you know? It's hard to tell, like, you know, because now I'm at a point in my transition where I feel like I can't tell anymore because the way people treat me, you know? And I feel like I have to be so cunt. I have to be one of the dolls to be considered, you know, a woman or whatever, right? But having guys, like, confirm that for me makes me feel like I don't really know how to feel because I'm trying to, like, look at what they see. I'm like, what do you see in me, you know? I think it's my INFP. It's inside me, but, you know, I'm thinking, what do you see in me? But I had to remember, like, they saw transgender women too. You know, they saw these different types of levels of queerness, these different versions of queerness. But it didn't make them want to transition. And I realize now, like, a lot of the transgender movement that we kind of see going on and that been in the past, if you think about it, even in the ancient world, like, we always saw the third sex as other. We never, as a whole society, we never really saw cis people as cis. And so it's funny because now I realize, like, when the guy was on the bus, right, and I was in the Greyhound, he saw me, he just said, I blurted out loud transgender, right? Like, I could easily have blurted out cisgender. And I realized, like, that's what's the problem. People have never realized that they were cis. And, like, you know what I mean? And now I kind of get it now. Like, that's what makes you cisgender. Like, if you, like, see some trans people and you don't get inspired to transition, you're cis. Like, being cisgender is a real thing. You know? Like, being cisgender is a real thing. And I think the people that are trans attracted understand that they're just cis. You get what I'm saying? They're not non-binary, they're not trans, they're not queer, they're cis. And so, like, now I understand I can allow somebody to be cis without, and non-queer without, like, feeling like I'm being judged or something, you know? Like, in my mind. Which is like, you know how, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you know how in, like, straight community spaces or whatever, they'll be like, oh, you know, women don't understand men. Women don't understand men. Blase, blase. Whoop-de-whoop. But I feel like I've always, like, kind of understood women. One second. And, like, I've kind of understood men. But now as a trans woman, I don't understand men anymore, you know? And I don't understand women because I'm not cis. And that is like, it's a really weird feeling, because like I don't know how cis men really see me. Like, I don't really know. I can say that I know. I can say this in the third, but I don't really know. I don't really know how cis women see me. And so it's very interesting now because I'm starting to now realize that just now coming into a place where it's much more socially acceptable to be trans, because like, it's like, wow, wait a minute. Like, I don't understand how men think. Because like, because for me, when I first saw trans women, or at least like, not first saw trans women, but like, I was completely aware of it. It was like when Caitlyn Jenner came out and people were talking about Sydney Starr and all these faggots and all that. So I was like, what? What's that? Like, what, transgender? I remember watching, it was Sydney Starr, really. I watched her twerking video, and I was like, what's the big deal about Sydney Starr? Why is all these guys talking about how she's a faggot or whatever? And next thing you know, she was like, your favorite transgender star, some shit. And I was like, what the fuck? What is that? And I remember looking it up and all that shit. And I found out what trans people were. And I ain't gonna lie, that's what sparked everything. That's what sparked everything. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, so like, I was like, what the hell? So I realized that's what makes you cis. If you watch that and you're like, transgender, what the fuck? And you look it up and all that shit, you're like, okay, you know all this shit, you figure it out. Because they're people, you're learning, you're just learning, And so like, if you don't feel inspired to do that, that just, you know what I mean? Like, I've studied like serial killers and like child molesters and child development. It doesn't mean I want to go do those things or I feel inspired now or anything. Because I'm not a psychopath. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, like, yeah, it makes sense, If you're transgender, you're going to be inspired by seeing trans people. But if you're not trans, like, sometimes some of these people are not trans, they're cis. And so it's like, oh, I forget, like, cis people literally can see the queer and our trans community and be like, oh, I'm attracted to queer people. Or I think queer people are cool. Or this person's queer. And that's it. Without like, you know what I mean? Like, them losing their like straightness. Them losing their cisgenderness. And that is weird to me because I've never seen it before. I've never like had the chance to deal with that. I never had a chance to like process that there's men out here that are just straight acting, or masculine men or whatever you want to call it. You can be masculine and gay, but that's why I say I don't like the word gay man. It sounds kind of weird, right? You can be a cisgender masculine man and literally be attracted to drag queens. You could be gay, you could be straight, so to speak, but it's like you can be into anybody you want to be into. And it's like, I always thought that was like, it affected their character, right? Because you're always surrounded by these down low dudes or whatever that like, they're so into you, but they start acting flamboyant. And you know what I mean? They start being queerish. And you're just like, what the hell, They start acting queerish around you. And you're like, bro, act like yourself. Like, what are you doing, And it's weird because I just had an encounter with a guy. He was just a masculine man that was into me, like, in some form. Maybe he admired me, whatever, right? And that's like really cool, to deal with like that, like to be around somebody who is aware. Like, it's like dealing with like somebody who's aware that you're black. I think black people are cool, but they're not like, you know, whoop de whoop, what's up, my dog? Like, you're not trying to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what to fucking say. Like, they're not making you like a caricature. They're allowing you to be you, and they're them, but they like you because you're you. You know, it's like, it's crazy. Like, what? You know? And they all tell me, I'm like, bitch, of course. Like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, I never had this before. This is crazy. You know, I really like that. Have y'all seen that little clip on TikTok with like the Jimmy Neutron clip with like Sydney and like Carl Weezer? He's like, Sydney, you left $1 in my hand. And she's like, keep it. He's like, why? And she's like, I think you know why. And he's like, I don't. Oh, he's like, my brain hurts. That's how I feel like right now. Like, what? Like, you know? But yeah, like, it's a little weird, but I guess it gave me some euphoria. I'm feeling good. And, yeah. You know, he gave me like a lot of weed right now too. I'm gonna smoke some of it, but like, honestly, I'm not gonna be smoking weed like that. I'm not. And I'm tell you why. The reason I'm not smoking weed like that anymore, I'm not gonna lie, like, me not smoking weed for this like month I was in Colorado and like, you know, coming into October now, like literally, like my face has become, I did the research and other people say it too, smoking like fucks you up, all types of, right? You're taking like estrogen, all that shit. And I've been still smoking before and during the whole time, like the first year, I had to smoke weed the first year, you know, me transitioning. But like literally, just 1 month, I've started smoking weed. I started smoking in general. Like literally, my cheeks are more rounder, they're more full. Like, I mean, like, you know how you might have those cheeks, but I mean, like, the cheekbone is full from the cheekbone all the way to like around my nose and my upper eyes. You know, I said upper eyes, around my eyes, right? Like, it's nice and full. It's really nice and full. Like, my skin is hydrated. Everything is hydrated and more full. And, you know, I just like that. And also, like, it's weird when I'm under the influence of, like, weed, because I can't, like, I don't like, I don't know, like, I feel like a fucking woman. Like, I feel like a real woman when it comes to that. Like, because, you know, I'm a stoner, you know, been smoking since I was, like, 15. And, of course, I smoked a lot of girls before. Girls don't like smoking weed like that. You know, even my sister, like, lightweight, you know? And I know why. It keeps you, you're too inebriated. You're too dazed and confused, you know? But that's just how it is when you're a woman. Like, women's bodies are known to, like, men's bodies, like their physical body, like the outside, it heals faster. Like, because men's bodies are designed to be like brick walls, a brick building. It's hard to get in and it's hard to get out, you know? But women's bodies are literally are made to be like more transparent, so things can affect their bodies, right? But things can also like come out their bodies faster, you know? So when you get a cut as a guy, you heal faster, right? Because you're trying to patch up the wall. Jesus, that plane is really close. And then when you're a woman, let's say you have a stomach ache, right? Like, you can like get rid of that stomach ache faster than a man can. Something like that, you know? So, like, yeah, like, when it comes to smoking, putting something in your body like that as a woman, it's going to affect you stronger than it's going to affect you as a man. Getting drunk is going to affect me more as a woman than I would as a man, you know? And so that's why it's like, I don't really like to, like, do all those things anymore. He was trying to get me alcohol, weed, cigarettes. I was like, what the hell? But the way he did it was actually player shit. Like, that's how you're supposed to do it. I would have gave him the pussy, but like, he caught me dumpster diving. I was a little angry when I first saw him because I was like, what the fuck? But he didn't come off as weird. He came off as really nice and cool and sweet. Like, he almost had me. He gave me like $25 and some weed. I was like, what the hell? And this other homeboy gave me like a pack of peanuts. And I'm just like, why are you guys doing this? Why are you guys being so nice to me? Why'd you give me $1? You left $1. God, at least, I told you right now it's Friday. They're just going crazy right now. I'm in the good part of town. But yeah. You left $1 in my hand. Keep it. Why? I think you know why. I'm just like, I don't. My brain hurts. Why'd you give me $1? Now tomorrow I'm gonna go to like this little application place and see if I can get a job. This might work out for me. It might not. I don't know. We'll see. Sayonara, guys. See you in the next one.